Gino and Toby, what are we reviewing today?
She-Hulk,
Again.
Attorney at Law, again on Disney Plus, because we have new thoughts. So if you haven't heard our original thoughts, please go back to our episode.
Yes.
And listen.
If you want to hear some people be very wrong, just be very incorrect, go watch our previous episode on She-Hulk. Or I guess at the time we weren't wrong.
At the time, it was a few episodes. What was it? The first episode?
It might have been after the first episode.
It was after the first episode. No. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So listen to us after the first episode.
We're like, ooh.
And then come back 6 episodes later, 5 episodes later, and hear what we have to say.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. Spoilers for all the episodes so far, up till episode 5. I think we're up to.
I should check.
So spoilers up until episode 5. Right now, stop listening if you haven't watched it. But honestly, you probably shouldn't. It's bad. It's getting worse as the show goes on. I guess I'll give my thoughts while Toby does some Googling.
There are a total of 9. So we have 3 more episodes. So we saw 6.
We're at 6 episodes?
Yeah.
We're at 6 episodes. Spoilers for up to episode 6, I guess. So, okay. I'd like to start out by discussing what I think the premise of this show is supposed to be.
Oh, tell us.
Given what they she looked at the camera and told us, right?
Yeah.
She-Hulk herself.
Episode 1.
She said, this is not a superhero show. It's a lawyer show. Okay? It's a lawyer show. Now, I assume that was like a joke because, like, yeah, it is a superhero show, but, like, it's also going to be a lawyer show.
Right. Like, she's trying very hard to be a lawyer.
Be a lawyer. Okay. I will say that this show is failing as both a superhero show and a lawyer show. It is bad at both of those things. Now, you might be saying in the audience, or if you're the producer of the show, it's not actually a lawyer show or a superhero show. It's like a slice of life show about Jennifer Walters' She-Hulk. It is also a bad slice of life show because her life is pretty boring. There's like no good characters in her life. That's like, I think, the primary sin of this show. What do you think, Toby?
I think there is not enough of an overarching plot for me to care about anything. If this was advertised as a 24 episode season where we slowly go through everything and you just enjoy each 40-minute episode for what it is.
24 episodes, I would kill someone. But let's say 12, 10.
No. Just hear me out.
Okay.
Let me finish.
You're saying you want 24
I'm not
these?
saying I want. Please listen.
Oh, I'm not listening.
Great.
I turn off my mic.
Should I start again?
Go ahead. No.
Okay. So if you told me, listen, we've got 24 episode seasons and we're going to go day by day, like slowly through her life, fine. You break them down to 22-minute episodes and you show little pieces. And I could buy that. The fact that this is a Marvel show and that every other...
Keep smacking the microphone wire.
I'm so sorry. I'm upset. Because every other Marvel show has had an overarching plot and has tied in somehow to the whole Marvel universe. And I don't see that yet. And I am so angry because if we have had 6 episodes, I should be able to tell where this is going, and I can't. And that's what's frustrating me because we are not watching 24 episodes and slowly building. We need to be there already. Like, I had an issue with Miss Marvel because there were too many overarching plots. And I was like, there's too much happening. I would like one villain. I would like one story, please. And in this one, I think it's the same problem. I don't need to see her dating. I want to see her lawyering. The last episode, she wasn't even her own lawyer.
You're not supposed to be your own lawyer, Toby.
But the thing is, how about, let me rephrase. We didn't even see her be a lawyer.
Right. I'm saying it's not a good lawyer show. So, like, it's failing on all of those. We're going to break these all down to everybody.
Are we?
We got 4 hours here, okay?
4 hours?
Until we got to go somewhere. So, I'm going to disagree with you. I don't want 24 episodes. Please kill me.
I just want to be clear. I didn't you're not listening again.
Okay.
I didn't ask.
I did turn my speakers off, so I didn't hear you say this.
I didn't ask for 24 episodes. Yeah. If this was advertised as a show with several episodes and we went this slow, I could accept it.
Okay, so, but what I think they should do is keep the same amount of episodes.
I'm not saying that they should be doing this.
But pick up the pace. Yeah, pick up the pace.
Like, I need more.
Or like if I don't care, I don't need 24 episodes or like whatever, or I don't even need an overarching plot.
I do.
If the premise of the show is like this is going to be a villain of the week kind of show or a lawyer case of the week kind of show.
I would love that.
Like Supernatural didn't have every that was a 24 season show.
Just to be clear, Supernatural had a villain of the week and an overarching
so like
villain.
fine, but they're not doing either of them. They're doing nothing. I don't know what they're doing here.
And She-Hulk, it looked like the dating episode seemed like a filler episode and then magically reappeared. Like that Wong episode where she fights demons also seemed to be just like pulled out of nowhere.
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. This entire show seems like every episode is a filler episode, but they're not filling anything up.
Right.
There's
like,
nothing to
there's nothing to fill.
There's no
cup.
bread on the sand. It's just filling. It's like a billion stuffed Oreos. It's just all filling.
Stuffing.
And like there's no meat to this show. There's
if you're going to introduce Daredevil, why'd she leave New York? What in the world?
Was she ever actually in New York? Was that us just thinking she was in New York?
There's no way she was always in California.
I think she might have always been in LA.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone tell us.
Someone say. I don't think she was ever in New York.
I'm too upset to look it up.
What I want to know is, and this is kind of skipping ahead a little bit, why is Daredevil, who is like historically kind of secret, getting a fashion designer from Los Angeles to make him an outfit and then picking that outfit up in person? You couldn't come up with any other excuse for Daredevil to have to come to LA.
Like couldn't have been a defending
someone
like
who was in LA or something, or it was like a New Yorker that he was defending that got arrested and something, or maybe he just went to LA for Daredevil stuff.
I'm also upset. Let me just speak to.
We can't speak on that because that hasn't happened yet.
No, I'm going to speak to Twitter.
Maybe there's a better reason.
I'm speaking to Twitter. Twitter, I don't know what's wrong with you guys, but the amount of praise you are giving this show is uncalled for. Like, stop. Because
Twitter's giving it praise because nowhere else is giving it praise.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah. Like so I look at the latest to see the latest things that are being said about it. And I never see anything critical. And like, people need to be critical. Like, we love Marvel. That's why we're so mad about this. Because it seemed like it was going to be good.
I'd say you could make the argument that we are disgusting Marvel fanboys.
1,000,000%.
So the fact that even we don't like it is like saying a lot. Like we watch Ms. Marvel. What's crazy is like this is so bad that it's making me see flaws in other Marvel stuff. So like I'm liking Ms. Marvel less than I remembered.
Ooh.
Because this is so bad.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is in my head. Like
you're just mad.
These two shows are like together and they're lowering in my brain.
Like, and I'm also upset because you're not helping like the women of Marvel. Like I feel like every woman in Marvel show just does not compare to, except WandaVision, does not compare.
WandaVision, I think, was in a level.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. WandaVision was wonderful, right? Like Miss Marvel. What's the other? There's another woman show, or like even just the movies. Like,
there's not that many women shows. I guess Hawkeye was technically.
But Hawkeye was great.
I don't know if Hawkeye was great, but
compared to
this, yeah. Okay, is it like Twitter a lot of like Yas Queen kind of stuff?
That's what I'm feeling.
So you think that's like the reason why they're not criticizing it is because it's the female lead?
I don't. Oh, that's why you said that. I didn't understand.
Yeah, I guess Twitter
I thought you
a lot
just
of
meant
like
supporting.
Yes.
I mean that might be the only people tweeting, and like YouTube is where all the haters live.
Well, like the manosphere is going to hate it no matter what.
Right.
So like you can't listen to them. So like the YouTube manosphere, like Andrew Tate people, like they're going to hate it. The fact that you don't know Andrew Tate is great. You don't need to know Andrew Tate. But if one of your students brings it up, let me know. I'll tell you what is up. What's
okay.
Up. So the fact that like those people don't like She-Hulk was always going to be the case. But that doesn't mean that the show is not bad, right? Like just because idiots don't like it.
Right. Like I think you and I are very reasonable people to be listening to and to be
show this to everybody.
This.
We're the only people's opinions that matter. To go back to our premise, right? So this is, or I go back to my premise, Toby. Let's start out with the fact that this is not a good superhero show.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think what you're saying kind of brings that home is that like There's no overarching plot. There's no overarching villain yet.
Right.
It's not building to anything. I don't necessarily need it to connect back to the larger MCU. I think Moon Knight was kind of refreshing with that, where it didn't connect to the larger MCU.
I guess, but Moon Knight was a good superhero show. You're right.
Yeah. So like, I don't need that necessarily. But I need like something. Like, what is She-Hulk's goal in this show?
Right.
What
It
is
cannot just be to be a good lawyer. That is not
Right.
strong enough.
Now with that, again, you bring up the next part of my thesis here, is that it's also not a good lawyer show. Because then I can see people saying, well, it's not a superhero show, it's a lawyer show. They don't really show any lawyering. They don't show like her figuring things out or having interesting cases. We watched a trademark case. A trademark case. That is the most boring kind of case.
We're looking at you, Marvel.
What is wrong with you? Why is it in your first MCU show with a lawyer in it, you thought it was a good idea to do a copyright trial for magic, whether or not magic can be copywritten, and a trademark case? Like, I get it's LA, and that's pretty much all they do out there is trademark cases and copyright cases. And I get that Disney is big into copyright, but good Lord. Could you imagine Law and Order? Copyright Law edition.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Anyone watch that?
So listen, I'm going to ask you a question. How many lawyer shows have you watched in your life?
Daredevil.
Great. So Gino's experience, but I watched The Practice.
Did they do copyright law?
Absolutely not. A guy got shot in a parking garage multiple times. That's
Perfect.
the episode that really stuck with me. And I watched Ally McBeal, another lawyer show.
Trademark law?
And I did watch Law and Order. So I have a lot of experience with lawyer shows. And I swear to God, if they ever put that nonsense on, people would stop watching.
No one would watch that. I don't want to watch this.
And it's not even that it's funny. Like, she should be saying, "We're doing copyright." Like
give me something. Right.
Like,
give me
you
something.
gotta make it. You gotta, if you're gonna use the voice of the audience, then you gotta critique. Because there have been points where she says, like, "Oh, we're doing this for the people." Like when Wong shows up and she's like,
she looks at the camera and she's like, "Oh, don't think this is a freaking." Well, there's the first episode where she's like, "Don't think this is just a." Cameo show.
Yeah,
which
but
it is,
she
by the
said
way.
something about
And
like
the next
making
episode,
like
when he comes
Twitter
back,
happy or whatever.
We're bringing Wong back to make Twitter happy because everyone likes Wong.
So if you're gonna do that,
Which I appreciate those things. I like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I need that to happen more. Like, if you know that you're doing a trademark case, like, she has to see the ridiculousness in that's being televised.
Like, this is the dumbest bit of television. No one should have approved this.
And we saw her do superhero things twice.
Well, yes. Going back to the earlier part of my thesis, Toby.
I'm just bouncing back and forth.
Show.
Whatever comes to mind is happening.
Yes, she has fought some guys with Asgardian construction equipment.
Which we stopped talking about.
Yes.
Could have been
Where
the
did they get that? Who do they work for?
Could have been the overarching
Yep.
plot. Please don't bring. I swear, I'm mad about this. If you bring them back 4 episodes after they like Titania, what's her name?
Titania, but I guess Titania's not the
Titania?
villain aside from trademark law.
No, but like they showed her in the first episode, like sprinkled her, and then brought her back 6
yeah, she
episodes
came in like
later.
The Kool-Aid Man. She just broke the.
It should have been. She comes up. Maybe one episode of us calling her She-Hulk. We're back.
Yes, right, exactly. Yes.
Like, there needs to be some sequence here.
And I also, I guess I kind of got the idea that the premise of the show, like the entire season, the premise was going to be her defending Blonsky, Abomination.
You'd think.
That was like one episode.
One episode.
I feel like there's enough meat there to make at least a few episodes about.
It could have followed his story. Now he's free. He does something bad.
Maybe they have to team up, or maybe that's still. I guess that kind of stuff is still happening. But boy, is it taking a long time.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't know what's going to happen in the last few episodes. But if they're like bringing this back, these callbacks are done. I'm tired. People probably forgot or didn't even know about Asgardian tech. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a big deal.
Okay, are there Asgardian construction workers on Earth? Like in America, like, because I mean, like, obviously they'd be the best construction workers, but then like, I don't want to see if that exists. Make sure you remember that for later, Marvel, because like, I don't want to see regular construction workers anymore. Because like, who would hire a regular construction worker if you could hire Asgardian
Like they
construction
got to be
workers
taking over.
who could just like lift up like tons of stuff and like, you know, cement and whatever.
Right, get the power of Thor.
And like lift up an entire building by like, I imagine like Amish people like building a barn all together, but instead of just like 100 Amish people, it's like,
just, like, 2.
one Asgardian just,
Right.
lifting everything up himself.
So like that, like, and again, we saw her be a superhero to like get rid of the demons, which
Yeah,
was
she
also
fought the
weird.
demons, which went nowhere. Like she like did I will say the only I think kind of funny thing and like good sort of thing that came out of this was Snooki and Wong. Although that character, I don't know what the actual character's name is. The one she's like, well, Wongers. They watch Sopranos together.
Madison, but with a Y where you don't
which I've seen people on Reddit say that in random places.
Wow.
Like it's with 2 Y's and an N, but not where you think.
Listen, this is
okay.
tough. This is tough for me to like her.
It was like r/Long Island. I'm like, why are you saying this?
Oh, because she's
This is about a beach. What are you talking about? Okay. Is she like a kind of funny character? I guess.
Sometimes.
But she's Snooki. That would have been even funnier in 2010.
It would have been even funnier if it was Snooki.
Just get Snooki. Right. Get the real Snooki. Then. She's busy she has kids.
Whatever. She's not busy.
She would have done it though.
She's not busy.
So like, why are we putting these kinds of characters in the show in 2022 when Jersey Shore was in 2010?
I'm guessing they still exist.
Right, but like they're not like a thing.
Right, like this isn't a
anymore.
cultural
So,
thing
like,
anymore.
This would be like putting like an NSYNC reference in like a show from 2010.
Who do you think what kind of person would have been better there?
Like, I don't know, some sort of modern.
Gen Z.
Yes.
Like a Gen Z person.
With a weird like shirt.
And like vibes. Like Wongers, you're vibing right now.
Yeah, right. Like that was like exactly. Not like a millennial, like party Jersey Shore kind of person.
No.
Get like a Gen Zer, you know, my vibes. They're like whatever words Gen Zer say. I don't know. I'm not a Gen Zer.
Me either. I still say mint.
They're on TikTok.
What?
TikTok.
Those talkers.
They whatever. That's not a word people say.
People say talkers.
Talkers? Do they?
I don't know. I'm not a millennial.
They drink from their hydro flasks, right?
I'm like a hard millennial.
Gen Zers like hydro flasks. What else do they like? Your sister is Gen Z.
No, she's millennial. They're both millennials.
What,
96 is the last one.
Oh, come on.
That's right,
so like
sisters.
whatever Gen Zers do.
I don't know. But I thought that would be more culturally relevant than what we grew up with.
It just took me, I'm like, why is there a Jersey Shore person here? But with that said, that girl made the best of what she had.
True, best of what she had.
If she doesn't show up in Doctor Strange 3 as like Wong's wife or like best friend.
Oh, I would like that. Best friend, maybe. Partier. And like is Wong supposed to remember the other Sorcerer Supreme?
He was goofy in this. I thought he was corny in this.
Super goofy. Like
his writing was bad.
What?
Can we say that before we move on from this point? Another problem with the show. So maybe there's a fourth part of my thesis, right? Because bad superhero show, bad lawyer show, bad slice of life show. Then you say it's none of those things, Toby and Gino. Mm-hmm. It's actually a comedy. It's none of those things. It's comedy. I think the comedy in this is really corny. Really corny.
I would say the best comedy goes to Nikki.
Yes, in the last episode that we watched exclusively.
I think Nikki is good in every episode because she has a personality.
Anyway, you were talking about Wong.
I'm sorry.
So I think Wong in this is bad because his jokes are corny.
But I want to see a Sorcerer Supreme.
He is the Sorcerer Supreme. It's just a job title.
Who played Sorcerer Supreme?
Doctor Strange was the Sorcerer Supreme.
No. Before him. What's her face?
I mean, the Sorcerer Supreme was supposed to be someone from Tibet.
No. Stop.
They didn't want to piss off China, so they made it. What's her face?
Right. What's her face?
I don't know. Some lady.
I should look.
Very white lady who's not accurate to the comics. Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, you could have tried to get the name. Okay. Didn't even try.
Whatever.
So Tilda Swinton was very serious, serious about magic, about what to do. No. But you need that dynamic.
You can say that about Doctor Strange 2 then. He wasn't the Sorcerer. He was the Sorcerer Supreme in Doctor Strange 2.
Right, but you need this is what upsets me. How much funnier would that dynamic be between this goofy 2007 girl and a serious Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes, for this show, yes, that would have been funnier.
He was a serious Sorcerer Supreme in Doctor Strange with Multiverse of Madness.
So the problem is not Wong himself being Sorcerer Supreme, is what you're saying.
No, not at all.
The problem is that Wong in this show is written so goofy.
I agree with
bad.
You. Yes, he act like the.
He didn't work good. He wasn't this bad in Doctor Strange 2.
No, he was.
Or in
he was
Spider-Man?
He needs to be serious. He's a very important job.
He's supposed to be the straight man to like Doctor Strange is more like
Why
sarcastic.
is he laying on a couch? It's adorable.
Yeah,
but let's not.
They did like too much.
Yeah.
Remember we keep saying that Wong is the glue to this?
Yeah.
I'm
upset about it now.
After this, I don't want to see Wong anymore. This show actually kind of ruined Wong.
I think we need a break.
Yeah,
but I love the actor and I love the character. This is too much though. This goofiness.
It's too corny. The show is too corny.
Yeah.
It's cornier than Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel was really corny.
Ms. Marvel was supposed to be corny. It was for kids.
Right. It's for a younger audience. This is like Megan Thee Stallion twerking. And like we're talking about our sex lives, and like we took She-Hulk carried a big dude to go bang him in her bedroom.
So my question,
like not for kids.
If this is for 30-somethings, because she does make that point, isn't it awful dating in your 30s? If this is for 30,
every 10-year-old was like, hilarious. Like they don't.
I'm not saying it's for 10.
I'm saying so. It's not for them.
So listen to me.
No, I turn off my mic.
We don't let Toby finish.
I turn off my headphones. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. Weren't you watching The Patient when he was? This is when I was awake, and he was like, "Why don't we listen? Because someone might say something."
You fell asleep during The Patient. I'm gonna have to review that show.
I'll review it with you. Just give me another month.
Toby's like, "Yeah, so dark, The Patient. I couldn't see anything because I was asleep."
God, The Patient. We'll talk about that at some other point. What was I saying?
You were saying that this is not for kids because she's making a joke about.
So if this show is for 30-somethings, which yes, I'm assuming I didn't date in my 30s, but from what I'm seeing, yeah, that was awful. Married by 30, guys. If that's for who this is, think of the shows that we watched and the comedy that we grew up with, and please do that. Like Nikki is perfect. Nikki's hilarious. The lines she says are great, but like. I think the problem is nobody else has a personality. Like there's no other character. You're right. The character writing is trash.
Everyone's just kind of like a goofy comedy trope.
Like even the head lawyer guy, when she was just sitting there this week and he was like eating his peanuts. I'm like, if you're going to go dry for him, he's going to need to be drier. Like he's going to need to be the boss in the office space. Like, so I'm going to need you to work on Saturday. Like, yeah. Like if you're gonna go extra on some characters, everybody has to be extra.
Like everyone's in this weird. Every character's in this weird spot where they don't feel like real people, but they also don't feel like over the top, exaggerated comedy people. Right. Mm-hmm. So you're just in this weird. It's like the uncanny valley of like the uncanny valley for like. Okay, well, don't worry, Toby, because we're talking about it. That's my next thing.
Oh, lucky me.
The uncanny valley is when a CGI character, the more real you make them look, the worse they look.
Okay, so I'm
going to have to talk about that with She-Hulk.
No. We talked about it before already.
Yeah, but I'm saying like these characters' personalities are in like the uncanny valley of like comedy because they don't feel and act like real people, but they also don't feel and act like over-the-top comedy characters. So they're in this weird mishmash of like seriousness, but like weird jokes, and they're always trying to make a weird joke, and it's like,
right.
And what are you doing?
I think what they've been doing pretty well up until this point, Marvel with their characters, is deciding between the two. Right? WandaVision switches back and forth between that when they're on TV and when they're in real life, right? They're got crazy characters and then they're in real life. In Captain America, not Captain America, what's it called? Falcon and Winter Soldier. They're in real life. And there are funny parts because real life is funny. Hawkeye, real life, funny parts because teens are funny. Like, we're going to give her the sarcastic, whatever. Are there any,
I mean, like,
Loki.
They used to have Robert Downey Jr. in a lot of their movies who, like, is beautiful.
But I don't even want to talk about the movies. I just want to focus on the series because we're talking about a series, right? So if we're thinking about the series... I think
you compare the whole MCU.
I don't think so. I think if we're talking about a series, right, Loki was more was more out there because it had to do with space and magic. And this should be cemented in real life with funny moments, I think.
The characters shouldn't always be trying to make a joke.
Which, coming from us,
is crazy.
Because we loved Thor Love and Thunder.
Right. And because to me, Thor Love and Thunder was set up as extremely over the top. We're going to try to be funny the whole time. Get your comedy pants on. It's comedy time.
Right.
Whereas this is not doing that, but then also not being serious. It hasn't like any serious moments at all, aside from her like women have to deal with anger all the time thing.
Which was
speech,
5 seconds.
Which was 5 seconds. When it's probably the best part of the show so far. Yeah, so I don't know. It's like there's so many problems with this show,
right? And I'm
all compounding on itself.
We're not saying that She-Hulk cannot carry a show because I think she can.
Or the actress.
The actress. I don't know what her name is.
Toby, you're in charge of Googling things.
That's my job.
I'm in charge of ignoring you.
Right.
And you're in charge of Googling things.
So we're not saying that Jennifer Walters...
Tatiana Maslany.
We're not saying that Tatiana Maslany, as Jennifer Walters, is doing a bad job.
I don't know if it's her fault specifically.
It is not her fault. I think this show...
You have to blame the directors, writers,
right,
and producers.
In this case, I think it's their fault. It feels like they slapped the show together in the writer's room and were like, this is good enough.
Yeah. And it's not.
It's, of course, no.
Yeah.
If you've listened to the last 20 minutes, we also think it's not.
And I think it's one of those things, and this is also true for the CGI, is that by the time they realized it was bad, it's too late. You're already in, you're like, what are you going to do? You're going to delay the show forever? Like, phase 4 is ending soon. Like, you got to get Daredevil in there before Daredevil starts. So, like, I think they already delayed it because of COVID. I think all these things were delayed because of COVID.
Oh, I don't know.
All of phase 4 got messed up because of COVID. It was all, I mean, Black Widow was supposed to come out
way later.
Supposed to come out in 2020. So, okay. Are we now finished with the writing, the overarching plot? Have we effectively described that it is not a good superhero show, not a good lawyer show, not a good slice of life show, and not a good comedy?
I think so.
Okay. Now let's talk about arguably the worst aspect of this show. The CGI. She-Hulk, I think she's starting to look worse and worse and worse as the show goes on. It looks really bad for some reason. And I've watched there's a group of CGI artists I watch on YouTube, and they were actually pretty forgiving of the CGI, and they were the ones who basically said that, like, and you keep yelling at me for this, and I'm like, no, I got this from real CGI people.
But it doesn't bother me.
I know, but they're saying that the reason why she looks worse than regular Hulk is because women in general have softer skin, and Mark Ruffalo has like facial hair and a beard. So when you do Mark Ruffalo Hulk and you can put in that facial hair and whatever, it gives it an air of authenticity, like the hair in his arms, all that stuff that you wouldn't necessarily do with a woman character.
Well,
but I'm thinking it's something else. It's something else. You can't make, you're just going to say, we can never make a good-looking woman character because their faces are too smooth. I don't buy it. I know I'm not a CGI person, and they are CGI people. I don't buy it. That's got to be wrong. She looks so... Toby, come on. How can you not think she looks bad?
I don't think... I'm sorry, you guys. I don't care.
She looks like... It looks like... Okay, there are some scenes where it looks like someone took... like a ditto sheet. Remember those like overhead projector sheets? Like a ditto sheet with it was clear. Someone looks like they took a ditto overhead projector sheet with She-Hulk on it and like taped it to my television. That she's floating on top of everything. That she's not in this. I don't know if it's the lighting. She looked good in like the shots where they're dating, and you were like, yeah, because it's all at night. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Like this is what they did with the T-Rex in Jurassic Park.
Right.
So you're telling me, as someone who's a fan of Jurassic Park, and sees how great that looks. Yeah. You're like, this is just as good.
I'm not saying it's just, I'm saying it doesn't bother me.
Look at this.
So Gino and I have very different like levels of care for things.
I'm not asking if you care about it. I know you don't care about it.
But that's why I don't.
You don't think it looks bad?
No, I don't.
You can take this seriously.
Yes, because she's a freaking superhero. She's not a real thing.
Right, but it looks like she's not physically in the room.
It does. It does to me.
Oh, my God.
It does to me.
I don't know what they're doing that's not working here. Like, okay, so people were getting mad about the, like, oh, I can't believe they made her twerk stuff.
Right.
And like, I can't believe they made a Marvel. Like, who gives a crap if she's twerking?
I don't care. But that's like the goofy stuff we're talking about in like a series show.
By the way, the whole Megan Thee Stallion stuff, corny. I just thought it was corny. I like Megan Thee Stallion, but I thought why we base the whole episode around her?
I have
Corny.
to say, all of the like dude lawyers in this are terrible. Like, not every dude lawyer is an awful human.
Yeah, I mean, like, fine.
No, I'm because I think for both of us, I think we have different ideas of what makes a show good. So you're gonna focus on the way it looks.
That's not true. We never talk about the way. I mean, like, that's a part of it.
I'm sorry. Did he not just
Wait,
rant
can I talk
about
one
the
thing?
way
One thing though,
She-Hulk
before we
looks?
go back to like story stuff, I guess. What took me out of the whole twerking scene was that her clothes and her butt didn't move. Like, she looked so weird twerking.
Oh, we don't care about the way things look.
She looks. That's not what I'm saying. She looks so weird twerking. Everything looks terrible. It looks horrible. I hate the idea that she's always in. We're done talking about story stuff. You say we're done.
I remembered more. No, I
one
was
second. Let me just finish my thought.
Yeah, finish your thought.
I hate the idea, and I get that in the comics she's always in
Her suit,
superhero
whatever.
form.
Okay.
But like, I hate the idea that she's always as She-Hulk because she looks so bad. Like, it takes me completely out of the show. If I can enjoy a scene of two women twerking, one of which being Megan Thee Stallion, then something's wrong. Something is wrong.
See, I couldn't enjoy that scene because it's ridiculous.
That's what most people on the internet are saying. That, like,
Right. It was just ridiculous. These end credit scenes, like even when she talked about Captain America, I was like, this is ridiculous.
Oh, that was funny when she's like, Captain America.
Yeah, but then where did that go?
I think that was just a funny joke.
No. I'm not where did it go, but like that was fine. If you want to say that was a good end credit scene, I feel like these other end credit scenes have just fallen flat. Anyway, what I was saying before is that Gino and I differ in things that make shows good. We also differ in things that make villains good, right? Like we both have different.
What villain?
Just any.
There is no villain in the show.
I'm just saying in general, we have different views on what makes things
go ahead.
good.
Yes.
So for me, this show needs better characters, I think, and for me, an overarching plot. I need there to be sequence. I couldn't watch Seinfeld because each show is its own thing.
But that was the premise of Seinfeld.
Which is an issue for me.
So this
Please
isn't even the
listen
premise
to
of this
me.
show.
Right. Tell me what the premise is.
I don't know. There is no premise. Or there was. They say there is.
I hope you guys out there are making the connection that I feel he's not. I can't watch the show because it's a show about nothing at this point. It's a show about everything and nothing at the same time. And it's frustrating.
Even Seinfeld had overarching plots within their own episodes that had like pretty good conclusions, and like the characters did stuff and they had a B plot and A plot that came together. Even the individual episodes in the show don't have good overarching plots. So it doesn't even work as well as that. That the thing that you don't like is 100 times better than what this show is doing.
Right. So I even like this show less, I guess,
Right.
is what we're saying. Because I can sit through. I mean, I'm sitting through this. It's like hard. I'm sitting through it because I want it to get better. I wanted there to be an episode. No, I didn't even. What kind of out of left field is that superhero suit nonsense? Oh, hey, do me a favor. Hey, I got a guy who can get you stuff. Oh, like what? Like superhero outfits? What?
I guess that somewhere between this show and all the other Marvel shows, superheroes have just like shown up in the MCU that we never heard of yet.
Yeah, but like, where are they?
Yeah, like
show them. I don't want to know that there's a guy that designs for superheroes and not know what superheroes there are. Like, and also just like, oh, we're gonna go to this store, this boba tea store, and get it.
But also it's fake, and it's like not. Yeah.
It just seems so thrown together.
Yeah.
That it is, and I come from an improv background where you literally throw together a scene
And somehow get something more satisfying than this.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think I'm done. How are you doing on
I'm going to finish it because I want to see Charlie Cox.
No. Not done. Done with this. I think I'm done talking about it.
I just think that even if Toby doesn't care about it, the CGI is really bad. Like really bad. Arguably some of the worst CGI I've seen in a long time, and I don't know why. Like it's like objectively these are good things in the CGI, but there's something about all of it together that's just not working, and it's taking me and a lot of other people, not just me, Toby.
I'm not saying it's just you.
Out of the show. That I cannot take it seriously whenever she's sitting there in her stupid big business suit at her desk with her even the keyboard that she's typing on looks fake.
Also, we didn't even see her in the new suit this episode. Why are you holding out on us? Who cares?
Yeah, that was another thing that was weird. It's like, it's just going to be a business suit that fits.
Right, like none of them were fun. None of them were good colors.
Like, I guess that's because they want to get to Daredevil. I guess. Whatever.
Then give us a Daredevil show.
Charlie Cox. How horrible would it be if like this awesome, amazing, this the girl, woman starring in a MCU
Charlie
show,
Cox is
and like Charlie Cox is coming to rescue the show and like make it good. That'd be really sad.
You know what I'm thinking? If that's the case, they needed to do Daredevil first, bring She-Hulk on as a surprise, and then do a She-Hulk.
Or like,
show.
let us know. Like, is the Daredevil show canon to this, or like, is this going to be a different Daredevil, and that's that's just like a different universe.
I guess we'll find. If he lives in LA, maybe he moved there from New York and they help us out.
There's no way they're going to take the devil of Hell's Kitchen and have him live in LA.
Why is he in LA then?
I will slap someone.
I hope they ship it to him then. It said for pickup.
Hell's Kitchen has two things. Daredevil and like B&H photo video, which I think is in Hell's Kitchen or is near it.
We don't know.
That's it. Millie, what do you think about the CGI?
Meow.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. I could sit here for another hour and complain about the show, but I guess we'll do another episode when it wraps up and being like, wow, Daredevil's so cool. Or like, wow, Daredevil's so dumb and they ruined him.
I'm so concerned.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is this worse than the Eternals? I think the Eternals is the worst thing.
I think Eternals is still the worst.
I think Eternals is still worse.
Yeah.
But boy, I think this and Eternals are like the two worst things the MCU has done.
Incredible Hulk. They didn't do
No, this is so much worse than the Incredible Hulk movie. Yeah, oh my God. That's way better than this.
I don't remember it.
It's not amazing, but it's better than I mean, like, the CGI in that looks 100,000 times better than this. And not to mention it has a plot, a villain. Yeah, oh my God. That's not even a good movie and it's better than this. You made me now realize that this is even worse than I thought. Just from bringing that up. Wow. Okay, guys. She-Hulk stinks.
Well,
sorry,
that's
everybody.
Thank you for listening to For Better or Worse. If you like what you heard and you want to know more, please visit our website for betterorworse.buzzsprout.com and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever you use so you never miss an episode. Like and subscribe to our show on YouTube so you can see what we look like and watch our cat, who is very visible today. Let us know to let us know what you think. Comment, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, talk to us on Instagram. If you feel the same way as we do, we'd love to hear it. If you think it's better, we'd also love to hear it.
Please, try to convince us that we're wrong. I don't know who is defending the show, but apparently, according to Toby, there's a lot of them. So
Twitter
let us
likes
know.
it. Well, see you next time when we review more movies and TV.
Okay, bye.
Bye.